All right, it is 6:15. Are we ready to begin? I would like to start, first of all, hello to everybody online with us. Welcome. Thanks for being here. And I just want to introduce to everyone in person and online, Sarah Lockhart. Nice to have you here, Sarah. It's your first meeting with us, and
Good to be here. Thank you.
we hope the first of many.
Yes. Long time.
Okay, so welcome. Thank you. And I think we are ready to call the public hearing to order. And Ms. Lockhart, will you please call roll?
Yes. Dr. Magulius?
Yes.
Mrs. Reynolds?
Yes.
Mr. Yatoni?
Here.
Mrs. Johnson?
Yes.
Mr. Goebel?
Here.
Mr. Carley?
Here.
And Mr. File.
Here.
Thank
Looks
you.
like we have a couple of phone numbers on line 1A. So we might want to find out who they are for the public record.
Have you done that yet, Sarah?
No.
Nope. Okay, no problem. Let's ask the folks who are on our call with just an unidentified number. Would you mind just stating your name so that we can put that in our public record for attendance?
Sarah Randazzo.
Oh, we heard several at once.
How
Sarah,
about 6-0?
Andrea Graff is 9460.
thank
Okay.
you, Andrea.
The one
Amy,
ending in
keep calling
3-5.
them.
The one ending in 5.
Sarah Randazzo.
And the one ending in 2-9.
I'm sorry.
We just need your name.
Sarah Randazzo.
But was your number ending in 3-5 or 2-9?
Oh, 5229.
Okay, and then the one ending in 3-5.
3-5 is me.
Okay,
Todd Gold.
thanks. Okay, thanks. We're good. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Andrea and Sarah. Thanks for that. Okay. We
Thank you.
are ready to move forward. This is a meeting to conduct a public hearing on proposed tax levy for 2020. Mr. McDermott?
Thank you. Travis, you want to put that up on the screen so everybody here can see? I believe this was in your board packet. Travis is going to put that up on the board here locally. All right, that page there, just to start off, that second page in the packet just gives you a list of tax levy terms that you may hear. Ones to point out are PTEL, which is the Property Tax Extension Limitation Law, which basically means we are in a tax cap district. And then that last bullet point there, the Truth in Taxation Act, does require a public notice and a public hearing, which is what we're doing tonight. If the tax or estimated tax increase is greater than 105% of last year's actual extension, that does not mean that your taxes or your tax rate is going to go up by 5%. That is just an estimation that we have to abide by if we do exceed 5% over last year's numbers. So the next slide basically just gives you that timeline. So tonight you'll be adopting the tax levy as well as the abatement resolution. Again, this year we'll be abating $300,000 from our sales tax revenue towards our debt service. That will go towards the 2016 bonds. And then tomorrow I will file both those tax levies in Christian and Sangamon County. Next page just gives you more information for the board. Basically, you'll approve the resolution providing for the tax levy for tax levy 2020 for receipt in fiscal year 22. And also a resolution allocating that levy for each of the funds that we deal with here. And then also the resolution for the abatement of the portion of taxes that will be abated from the sales tax revenue towards the 2016 bond issue. Next page there is the Truth in Taxation, which just gives you that same information. We are required to publish a notice for this particular hearing, and then obviously hold the hearing. If anybody wants to speak publicly on the proposed tax levy, they can do so at this hearing. So the next slide is the estimated tax levy, which is based upon our EAV, our equalized assessed valuation, which consists of both existing property and new property, as well as what the CPI rate is. The formula that's used to calculate the overall ending tax rate deals with those three variables. But unfortunately, we do not know what our EAV will be until the spring. Sometime in March or April, we will get an actual number, which at that point in time, we will know what our ending tax rate will be. But today, we do not know what that's going to be, nor do we levy at this point in time for a tax rate. We levy for dollars. So that next page really just gives you more of that information in terms of doing the levy here in December. It is truly an estimate because we don't have our actual EAV number at this point in time. So again, we are levying for dollars and not a tax rate. That next slide I won't spend much time on, but that's basically the overall calculation in the end, once those variables are known. But currently, we do not know what that EAV and total new construction in the district is at this point in time. And then the relationship, like I had mentioned, EAV, CPI, and the tax rate. Basically, it's an inverse relationship between those. So if our EAV does not go up as much as we had anticipated, then basically to keep that same tax revenue, or at least on track for increasing our tax revenue, that tax rate has to go up to make up for those lost dollars. And inversely, if our EAV grows more than what we think, then it doesn't take that much of a tax rate to generate the revenue that we would normally see. So the tax rate would end up going down. The next slide just gives you some historical information on the levy rates and resulting extensions that we have received. The far right, obviously, is the truth and taxation projection. You can see we've projected the EAV a little over 304 million. That's an 8% increase over last year. I don't believe we will obviously get there. I think our increases for the last few years, we're going to be closer probably to 2 to 4% in that range. But why we levy more dollars now is because we don't want to leave any needed funds on the table. Because if we don't levy high enough at this point in time, and then our estimates are too low, then those dollars that we could have accessed are gone forever. We don't receive those going forward. So it has a cumulative effect if we don't capture those dollars now. The next slide just gives you what the tax rates were for the county schools in 2019, so last year's levy. And you can see Rochester's towards the bottom at 4.38%. And the last slide, that far right column is our truth and taxation projections. And again, like I had mentioned, that is based upon an EAV increase of 8%. And then the breakdown per fund, you can see in each of the funds what that would translate into. And overall, then, based upon that projection, the district would receive approximately $13.2 million in a total extension. The column just to the left of that is probably where we're going to end up a little bit closer to, just based upon a more conservative projection. So in the end, that projection is based upon a 2% increase in EAV, which would produce approximately $12.7 million in an extension over last year, which was a little over $12.3 million. So with that said, any questions?
Okay, no questions from the board? Okay, that is it, and this meeting is adjourned. We'll convene the next meeting in 5 minutes. Thank you, Mr. McDermott.
Thank you.